Well, now this, while the prosecution case implodes, the media is scrambling to make it all about Rittenhouse white privilege. Today, CNN published an op-ed titled, "What Kyle Rittenhouse Tears Reveal About America." It reads, quote, "The baby-faced vigilante has become a hero to many among the far right-wing political establishment. Circumstances of his trial reflect the way in which race shapes America's unequal criminal justice system." And then, of course, there's Don Lemon.
Imagine if Kyle Rittenhouse was an 18 or 17-year-old black kid.
Well, that's a different issue. What
with a gun?
That? Talk about that.
Right. How would people feel? How would the judge treat him? Or what about the people on the right who are making Kyle Rittenhouse out to be a choir boy because he went across state lines, inserted himself into a situation where he had nothing to do with, killed two people and injured another person? How would America feel about that?
Sonnie Johnson, host of the Did She Say That podcast, and she joins me now. Sonnie, he said what he said, so I'm going to just let you respond.
Well, we can always expect the left. We know exactly what they're going to do, so it's no surprise to see how they're responding in this, especially there's not any black people in the case, but yet they still find a way to make it about white supremacy. But what we need to do, I think, on the right is to understand the difference between identity politics and conservatism equally applied. Because what they want to bring out is the idea of vigilantism and how we should be against that as a principle. Well, what they have done is take the idea of vigilantism and replaced it with what we know to be self-defense. And I'm not saying it just specifically for this case. I'm talking about overall in black communities everywhere across the country. How many times can you talk to people where if you actually listened to the case and just heard what happened, you would definitely say it was a matter of self-defense. And but instead, they are charged by these prosecutors and judges, and then they are sentenced. And we do not get that kind of reprieve where we can actually question the legislation and regulation that went into taking away our ability to protect ourselves. And the most prevalent way you see this is what they've done with gun control, but they have manifested it in numerous different ways where they are able to charge us for basically just wanting to be defenders of our own lives. And now I think a lot of conservatives and Republicans are getting to see that play out across this trial, but just know this isn't a new thing. This is why you have so many black people complaining about criminal justice reform and saying that something needs to be done. And this is our moment to actually have that conversation. What is the difference between vigilantism and self-defense? And how many people in the black community are actually asking for the ability to defend their own selves and communities, not being vigilantes, but are strucken down from doing so? And I think you would find that a lot of, especially black men who want to be leaders and stewards in their communities, are thoroughly punished if they actually step in and take those roles seriously, because in progressive areas, the responsibilities is supposed to fall on the government, not on us individuals to actually protect and defend ourselves.
So let's go deeper in this, Sonnie, because you're exactly right, as usual. When I go to communities every single day, and I'm talking about the crime that's happening there, I have been encouraging the brothers to pick up arms, and you can see it in the numbers where black ownership is at a record high, not just black men, but women as well.
Growing.
These men and women are protecting their community. So if I was to go along with what the liberals are saying right now, those brothers and sisters that go out and patrol their neighborhood, if they have to defend themselves, you want them to go on trial for protecting their community when there's been bloodshed every single day? What are they to do?
They will be the ones that go on trial. Where you see they are letting the criminals out, the ones that actually defend, they will be the ones that are actually charged and faced to go on trial. This is what we have to understand. They are punishing not simply on color, but on ideology. So if you walk in and you say it is my right to defend myself, they are looking at you like, no, it is not. It is government's job to defend you, and you need to get in order with that. And that is how we are being handled, like we're children meant to be managed, as opposed to adult American citizens that should have the ability to not only protect ourselves, our property, but our communities. And now you see our communities falling apart at the seams, and we're supposed to still sit and wait for government to come and solve it. And anytime we step in to be the forebearers of change, we're the ones that are looked at as the enemies, because we're supposed to leave that job to government. And I think that conservatives are really missing the opportunity to have a real conversation about our ideology and how it intercedes and intercrosses with Black America, as opposed to continuously being pushed into these identity politics conversations that get us nowhere and solve no problems.
See, the left, we know their agenda. They want to gaslight us. They put Don Lemon on air. They release these tweets, and they make it very personal. They try to do, but there's a message in what you just said there, Sonnie.
Yes, and the message has to be conservatism will work in Black America. It can be sold, it can be packaged in towards Black America. But what is not going to work is identity politics. So as long as we are allowing the left to push us into that parallel conversation instead of actually focus on our ideas and what we believe in, we're not going to find that kindred relationship with Black America that we should be building. And it has to come local, and it has to be look at the regulation and legislation and actually solve the problems. And that's the only way we're going to fix it. And identity politics is not going to do that.
100% Sonnie Johnson. You can catch her tomorrow on SiriusXM Patriot. Thanks so much, Sonnie.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.